iOS 18.4 release candidate number 2 has been released for developer testers, and these are all the new features and changes that this software update has to offer. The new build number we have on file is 22E240. Unlike the previous release candidate version, this update today actually removes the words release candidate and just says iOS 18.4. Alongside this update, Apple also released macOS 15.4 RC2 yesterday, and we got iPadOS 18.4 RC2. An issue I was experiencing within settings is still present right there. When you go into the app icon settings, you can see these P's are actually missing the face of the icon, and at the same time there's a new settings. When you go into the photos, you now have an option to enable or disable show recently viewed and shared. On the build number page, Apple actually tells us what's new about this update, and you can see they listed a number of new features and changes which I'll be covering in my official release. Within the App Store, the Final Cut camera was actually updated from version 1.1 to the newly updated version 1.2. In settings, under the general tab, if you actually want to change your language and regions, there's now 10 new system languages that are supported that you can select from. Unfortunately, a number of users are complaining about the notification bug, and this is affecting a various number of devices. This update provides a fix for screen time where app limits would persist even after an application has been deleted and reinstalled. If you're waiting for iOS 19, WWDC 2025 has been announced, and it's going to take place on June 9th, and that's when we are expecting the first developer beta of iOS 19. Within the News Plus application, some devices actually received a new pop-up screen, and the food section has been updated slightly, minor wording changes. If you pay for Apple Fitness Plus, under library, you now have the ability to edit and add different collections. If you have certain photos that you have added or hidden within your Photos app like this, and you have Face ID enabled here to protect your hidden photos, those photos will actually not be available for import when connected to macOS. And speaking of photos, Apple has actually updated the Photos albums with more filter options that you can go through if you are in a certain folder or library. The camera bug that was affecting a number of users or preventing them from accessing the camera from the lock screen has now been resolved. This update should be released to everyone next week on March the 31st, so if you're waiting for it, this is the date. The release notes that we have for this update are actually pretty similar to what we got with the RC1, so there isn't a lot of changes in this aspect. In terms of whether you should install this new software update, I would say if you're still on any of the iOS 18.4 betas, then definitely I've tested it, it's safe. And if you haven't updated yet, the official release is just coming up in a few days, like 3 days, so it might actually be worth it to wait it out. Those are all the new changes in this update. Definitely follow for more.